Hey everybody, it's Ron from Pick Dawgz here with your Pick Dawgz morning show here on a Saturday. Oh, we got a new guy coming in. Let's add him onto the screen here. There he is, Jay Briggs.
I'm just making
we
sure.
got
I'm just making sure you had enough people.
yeah, all good. We've got a loaded Saturday card, over 140 college basketball games, 7 in the NBA. Nice little hockey card as well. I got some of the best guys in the industry here to go over these games with me. Rod Zawacki and Brian Bittler. Rod, how you doing today?
Doing good. Trying to stay warm. It's cold here. Can't complain about yesterday. I still 2-1 day on the premium side of things. I've been having a good start to 2026, so knock on some wood that we continue to roll along. See the board well. I think we're plus units in all sports rolling. NHL, college basketball, NBA, football. Not complaining about things on my end of things. I'm used to the cold weather. We've been lucky. This is the first cold spell of the year here up in my neck of the woods. So nothing like a little bit of a cold spell. Nothing I've put up with before. 4 days. By next week, it's supposed to be +1. So for me, that puts it in the 40s for everybody tuning in. It'll be a nice sunny day, 47, 48. Not a bad day for this time of year, January. And yeah, as you alluded to, a massive card of college basketball on a Saturday. Looking forward to it. And hey, we throw some hockey in there, throw some NBA in there as well. NBA's dealing with a storm, so they upped that early game. Changed the time on it on the Charlotte Hornets game, moved it to be a little bit earlier to avoid the big storm that's heading some people's direction there today. So if you're heading, watch out for a storm. Could be on the way. It's that time of year. Yeah. So let's get to it. I'm excited about it.
Hope everybody stays safe with this crazy storm. Shouldn't have any issues over here, but I know a lot of people in the South not used to these types of weathers. And like Jay said, Dallas, no infrastructure for these types of storms. So hopefully everybody stays safe. But Jovan's joining us as well today. How you doing this morning, Jovan?
I'm doing well. Yeah, the South, anywhere in the South, they don't have the infrastructure for any of this. When I was living in Virginia, going to college a long time ago, 2 inches buried them. With as far as accidents and so on and so forth, they don't put salt on the ground. So yeah. It's damaging to them to have a little bit of snow. Lay that on, with ice on top of that, it's a bad situation. So, but yeah, got a lot of games. A lot of games have moved up on Saturday. So I'm front loaded for this one. I'm ready.
Sounds good. Let's get into it. Well, Brian, how you doing this morning?
Oh, I'm doing crappy today. 0-3 yesterday, and I'm not happy when I form like that. I had the University of Massachusetts, I had UMass yesterday. They go up by 20 points or so, and then they crap it away in the second half and win by a point. And of course, I'm laying 1.5. So I just don't like to take that -120 money line, because over the long run, that juice will eat you up. But and then my NBA play, the Milwaukee Bucks. I got in at 5.5. It closed around 8.5, I believe, and they lost. I think they lost outright.
Outrighted. They came down. They were down by like 20, and they came roaring back like they were trying to get a win and just fell short.
So that's my net day in a nutshell. And add to that, the stupid Seattle Kraken gave me a loss late at night. So there we go.
Well, hopefully you'll be able to bounce back. I know these Saturday cards are more your style, so Friday's not your favorite day, square dancing, but. I went 1-1 myself. Won the Pacers plus the points. Wish you could get like credit for 2 or 3 wins when you have a 16-point dog win outright, but just a 1 win there. And then I lost in college hoops with Ohio. But I think this is a really strong Saturday card, one of my favorites in college basketball so far. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. But let's get into it with our first sport of the day. And that's going to be the NHL. Let's see if I can figure out these graphics. Still getting used to it. There we go. So we've got a couple of afternoon games. First one's the Sabres and my New York Islanders. We got the Mammoth and the Predators, Canadiens and the Bruins, Hurricanes, Senators, the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Columbus Blue Jackets, Detroit Red Wings playing some great hockey, taking on the Jets, the Kings and the Blues, the defending Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers taking on the Smudges, the Minnesota Wild, and then the final game, the Capitals and Rod's Oilers. Rod, what do you like in this hockey card for today?
Couple I like in the hockey card today. First one I'm looking at here is you look Tampa on the back-to-back. Don't like Tampa here on the back-to-back. They didn't look so good yesterday as well. Needed overtime to get themselves a win. And here in this back-to-back spot, like what I see from Columbus at home, 12-8 on the season. They play their better hockey at home, 5-4-1. I know Tampa's been rolling along, but I think this is where that ends. They get had. Columbus gets them at a nice little plus price. Give me the Blue Jackets in that one. And then another one, I'm looking at that early one that kicks it off with your New York Islanders. I like an under there in that one. Lower scoring game between these two squads. New York off of that big long road trip. First game back at home off of that road trip. They tend to play lower scoring games. Good defensive style game. I think 1-3 wins that one. Give me the under 6. And then one more I got for everybody looking in the later slot of games. Hey, you got the Oilers taking on Washington. Washington got themselves a win against the Calgary squad that, hey, they were playing good, but not so much. Tom Wilson back for Washington as well, but in the back-to-back spot, the Oilers looked awful against Pittsburgh. They need a bounce-back spot. And it's also, they threw Leon there in that game too early. He flew all the way from, where was I want to say it was somewhere in Europe. And then he flew in for the game, played the game, and looked awful. Throwing him into that lineup was not what the Oilers needed to do. As you say, they got the loss. Penguins came in and smacked them. But that Penguins squad turned things around. So watch out. Washington, I know Washington. They're not winning this back-to-back. I'll take the Oilers to get the bounce back. They're 12-1 or 12-2 this year following a big home loss like that. They've got beat up at home a couple times. Big bounce back here for the Oilers in this one. They need it. So they get it over Washington. Buck line for me.
All righty, Oilers bounce back win for Rod. We know Jovan's not going to be talking about hockey today, so let's move on to Brian. What do you like in the NHL?
I'm going to start off with the New York Islanders on the money line. Buffalo Islanders have been win a game, lose a game. Chance to get some revenge from a pre-Christmas loss to Buffalo. I'm going to take the Islanders. I like the Winnipeg Jets overall. It's my favorite free play on the board. This team at 23-7 against a 31-16-5 Detroit Red Wings team. I don't buy in on the Red Wings. I don't buy in the Boston Bruins. All these teams have been killing me this year. Let's see, Detroit, Boston, and the Pittsburgh Penguins, 3 teams that are overperforming, I believe. I think the Winnipeg Jets, the best is yet to come for them, so I'm going to take them on the money line. And then just a slight lean to the Florida Panthers on the money line at the Minnesota Wild.
All righty. Well, for me, I'm actually going to go against you on my Islanders. I actually lean towards the Sabres. I'll be rooting for the Islanders, but the Islanders have not played well in afternoon games. I know that as a fan. I can't remember the last time they won an afternoon game. But beyond that, long road trip just ended. Their first game back from a 7-game road trip in Western Canada. Bo Horvat returns, but he's been out of the lineup for like 20-plus days. So I think there's going to be some rust here. Also, Ryan Pulock, the defenseman, is out for the Islanders. So a lot of moving pieces. Just kind of seems like a sleepy spot in your first game back from a long road trip. And Buffalo's a good team, and they beat the Islanders the first time. They really outplayed them in that game as well. I just don't really have a lot of faith in my Islanders in this one. So I'll take the Sabres. We're getting a really good cheap price. And honestly, I hate to say it, but I would throw the Islanders in that conversation, Brian, with teams that are overperformed. I don't think this was not a season that many people expected the Islanders to do much, getting the first overall pick in the draft. They've outperformed. We'll see if they make the playoffs, but I don't think they're a real contender unless they make some moves at the deadline. I'll take advantage of a good price with Buffalo on the money line. But that is the NHL. And usually I would go to the NBA before we go to college hoops, but there's a good amount of early college basketball. There's some early NBA as well, but 11 a.m. Eastern college hoop start time. So let's get into college hoops first today. We've got a giant card. Like I said, this is one of my favorite cards of the season. There's just a lot of meat on the bone. Even some games that are not premium plays, I really like them as free selection. So we'll get right into it. We start with some of the signature games early. Ole Miss, Kentucky starts at 11 a.m. We've got Wake Forest and Duke. Nebraska 19-0, taking that undefeated record into Minnesota. We got Maryland and Michigan State. North Carolina, Virginia, 2 ranked teams in the ACC going at it. Vandy and Mississippi State. Clemson, Georgia Tech. NC State, Pittsburgh. These are all 12 p.m. Eastern, so just a loaded early card. We've got Villanova, UConn at 12:30. Georgetown, Providence. Georgia, Texas. We've got, Mercer and Wofford. Mercer's been one of the best cover teams in the country. That's 11 a.m. They moved that game up. and West Virginia, Arizona. We'll stop at we'll do everything to 2 p.m. Eastern. So not that West Virginia game, but anything up to that. Jovan, what do you like in this first time slot?
We're going to go to the earliest game, which is 11 o'clock. Ole Miss and Kentucky. Kentucky's playing the best basketball this season. No doubt, but 10.5, they haven't been laying this number as of late, I don't believe. And I'm just looking at it. Chris Beard, defensive driven team, anytime that he head coaches a team. Kentucky's gonna have to hit their 3-pointers. They are quite capable of doing that, but plus 10.5. I think we're on the fringes here. I expect this to be a 7, 8, 9-point game as opposed to a 12, 13, 14-point game. So I'll take the points in that one. Look, when are the Cornhuskers going to lose? That's what I want to know. Is
today they're going to lose.
I'm pot committed on fading them, to be quite frank. So, I'm on the Gophers in this one at the barn to get it done. Take the points. Look, we saw what happened a couple weeks ago against Indiana in Bloomington. They were getting blown out, and then they came back and won that game. They've been rolling all season. Do I want to lose more money? No, I don't. But listen, I'm fading them. It's that simple. So we will be on the Golden Gophers.
All right, Jovan's pot committed. I'm right there with you. I've faded Nebraska more than a few times. Hasn't gone too well for me, but we'll see about today. Brian, what do you like in this early time slot?
Yeah, Nebraska's chat my ass this year, but I really believe firmly that this is the upset of the day right here. I'm not a guy that takes the money line here, but we've seen Nebraska win 19 straight games. Line's starting to fall. I think it's down to 4.5 now from 5.5. Minnesota's lost coming in this game 4 straight up games in a row. Nebraska has Michigan, a date with the Wolverines on deck next. I think they get caught with their pants down here. I'm going to take the Minnesota Golden Gophers plus the points. And then I'm going to lean to the Virginia Cavaliers laying the points at home against UNC. Carolina Tar Heels, just after Duke, one of the more popular teams in basketball. Not that Virginia's not, but at home here, they need to start getting some 10-point or more quality resume wins. I'm going to take the Cavaliers and lay the lumber.
All right. Virginia for Brian as well as Minnesota. For me, I'm going to talk about that Villanova-UConn game. UConn's not been the best cover team this season. They're number 2 in the AP polls, 18-1 straight up, but they've not been great against the spread. They're laying a lot of points in this one, but I think they get the job done. I think they match up really well with Villanova. I think this is a great Villanova team, but just a bad spot. Playing on the road, really tough place to play. UConn's really balanced, excellent defensive team, great rebounding team as well. They're coming off a couple of close calls. That the Georgetown game was way too close. Seton Hall, they had a big lead. Looks like they were going to cover the spread, and then at the end they just kind of crapped it away. But I think this is a good spot for UConn to pull off a signature blowout win at home, and I would lay the points with the Huskies in that one. I also gave out Georgia, Texas on the bank shot breakdown. I really like that one. Texas laying the points. For me, I just haven't seen enough from Georgia on the road. True road games, neutral site games. We know they played a weak non-conference schedule. They've had a couple of spots in conference play on the road and mixed results. They got crushed by the Gators, had the win against South Carolina, but doesn't really tell us much. Missouri also not a great team. Texas is battle-tested. They've got some big signature wins, Alabama, Vandy, NC State. So I've seen more from Texas in these step-up games. These are 2 very competitive teams, balanced teams, but I think Texas is the better side, and at a cheap price at home, I'm willing to lay the bucket with the Longhorns. So Texas for me. But Rod, what do you like in this early slot?
I'm with you. I like Texas there. Been riding Texas over this little streak. They've been getting some big numbers and getting some covers. I believe the last time I was on here, they were facing Alabama, and they got the cover in that one. So I like Texas there. So I'm with you. You can take the money line if you don't want to lay a point and a half, and get hooked by the hook like Brian did on the one yesterday. Nothing like that. I think the money line's not a bad place to go there. Now, another one I'm looking at here, you look at Bellarmine heading in to take on North Florida here in this one. two teams not playing great. But Bellarmine, they love to play down to their competition. Laying 4 on the road, you don't want to be laying 4 on the road with a Bellarmine team. 2-9 on the road here in this one. Don't do it. Take North Florida plus the 4 there in that one. They got a good shot to outright Bellarmine in that matchup. Another one I like that I'm looking at here in this first block of games. Scary smart. Give me Georgia Tech here. Georgia Tech at home. Clemson out of the road. 3-2 straight up. But I think Georgia Tech at home has been playing some pretty solid basketball. 10-3 straight up here. They're going to give Clemson a handful. I think Clemson wins the game, but not by 8.5. It's just too many. I'll take Georgia Tech plus the 8.5 there. And I'm with you guys. I think this is the spot that Nebraska falls. Why is Nebraska only laying 5? It's coming down, as you said, to 4.5. But the scary part is now we all like Minnesota. So it's like, that never usually turns out well when everybody on the panel loves that one side. But I'm with you. I got to go with the Gophers there in that one. Because, yes, I think we've all tried to fade Nebraska at some point. I think it was last week for me. And they were out on the road, same situation. And they came through and pulled away with a win. I don't think they do it there today. Give me Minnesota. And then one more that I like in this time block is, it's Brian's Temple team. They're laying 11.5 on the road here against UTSA. You look at these numbers, and it tells you that Temple should roll by 20, right? Nah, I think Temple wins by 5, 6 at best. I'll take UTSA plus the 11.5 there at home against Temple. Temple on Saturday has just been awful. I don't know. Maybe they party too much on Friday night, but they just have not been good on a Saturday. I believe they've lost 5 straight Saturday games. And laying 11.5 here on a Saturday. Give me UTSA plus the 11.5 there.
All right, that's the early time slot in college hoops. Next up, we're going to go from any game in 2 p.m. Eastern to 5 p.m. Eastern. So some of the signatures we got: West Virginia, Arizona, Houston, Texas Tech. That could be the game of the day. Should be going at 2 p.m. We got Dayton and St. Joe's in the A-10, George Mason, Rhode Island. We've got Miami and Syracuse, both teams looking to bounce back from tough losses. We've got, Yale and Penn, Chattanooga, Samford. It's a fun mid-major game, I guess. Oklahoma, Missouri, Western Kentucky, Sam Houston, nice one in the Conference USA. Virginia Tech, Louisville. We got Illinois, Purdue, another game that could be the best game on the board as well. 2 top 15 teams. Iowa State, Oklahoma State, second meeting between those two. UCF and Colorado in the Big 12. Kent State looking to bounce back from a heartbreaking loss to Miami, Ohio. They almost had Miami, Ohio's first loss of the year, go to overtime and lose it. Now they're playing Eastern Michigan. We've got Florida State, SMU, Air Force, Boise State, an ugly one in the Mountain West. And LSU, Arkansas. So anything in that 2 to 5 window. Brian, what do you like?
Oh, I like a ton of, I could give out like 500 free picks here because it's such a juicy card here, but I'll concentrate on one. I'll go with the Iowa State Cyclones minus the points. They just recently had 2 key losses to Cincinnati and at Kansas. They bounced back and crushed UCF, but Iowa State needs to crush teams, 10 or more point wins here. Oklahoma State had a nice record to start the season filled with cupcakes. But I think Iowa State here head and shoulders better than Oklahoma State. I think they win it by 20. Pull out Javon's extendo clip here. I think this is a big-time win for the Cyclones.
I think I agree with you on that one. Iowa State kind of needed a little bit of time in that first meeting to get going. Then they were just dominant. Now at the fresh 40 minutes, I think they can do enough to win that game by margin. I'd also take Samford. I talked about that with Chattanooga. Samford's on a losing streak right now, 4 games, but I still think this is one of the better teams in the conference, and they playing with revenge, playing at home here. They lost to Chattanooga in the first meeting about 15 days ago. They only shot about 31% from the three-point line and 61% from the free throw line. So they just really got outshot in that game, but played fundamentally sound. They take care of the ball. They're a good rebounding team. I think they are the better side in this one, and we're getting a pretty good price because of recent results with Samford losing 4 straight and Chattanooga winning 3 of its last 4 and the first meeting between these two. So I would take Samford and lay the points in that one. What about you, Rod? What do you like in the 2 to 5 time slot?
Couple I like in the 2-time spot. One I'm looking at is Illinois taking on Purdue here in this matchup. And you look what Illinois has been doing, playing some pretty good basketball. Probably most likely going to be out with Kalen Boswell here in this one. Fractured his right hand sideline until February, but they played last game, got the win, didn't get the cover on that double-digit cover in that one without him, but still played well. And I think coming here against Purdue, I think they can hang. This thing's up to 6. So a lot of money coming in on Purdue here in this one. Why is it only 6? I don't know. You figure that injury should be a little more points, especially the way Illinois has been playing in their away games. 4-0 straight up, 3-1 against the number. Playing well against conference opponents as well, 7-1. And you look what Purdue's been doing over the last month. They've been winning games, but not getting covers. I think that's what happens here. I think Illinois keeps this one close with their free throw shooting late. They got plenty of guys that are hitting well over 80% free throw shooting. So give me the Illini plus the points in that one. Also like the over. Now the one I like in this time spot that we're looking at, it's a little bit later. Where is it? I don't like this LSU squad at all. I'll take Arkansas by 20. Find an extendo. See if we can find them minus 19.5. This isn't going to get close. LSU's not going to get a sniff in this one. Love the Hogs to take it all out. Look what they 11-0 at home, 9-2 against the number. I got them by 20 plus here in this one. I'm going to find the extended number on Arkansas to blow LSU off their court. Not even going to be close. My blowout of the day by 20 plus. Give me Arkansas there. Couple I like in that spot.
All right. Rod's bringing out the extendo clip. Jovan, you got any extendo clips for us in this time slot?
Probably not. But well, look, this Arizona game. I mean, look, you can't really go against Arizona, But West Virginia, they did stay out there after that win that they took from ASU in their first game out there. Well, they've been out there for 4 or 5 days. So it's just a situation where I want to take the Mountaineers, but given the way Arizona plays and the way they drill teams, unless the back door is going to be open, then I mean, you basically either got to play the favorite or stay away from it. So that's just my thoughts on that one. I will back Missouri, and maybe that's a extendo clip type of play coming off that. That last second loss that they took, this is a spot where I expect them to be focused. And you already know what a Porter Moser team does on the road. They get drilled, so it is what it is. So that might be worth an extendo clip play. I'll be on Missouri for the bounce back. What you said, we're going up to 4 or through 4?
Through 4, yeah. Anything 2 to 5.
All right, got it. I mean, this Virginia Tech Louisville line, it looks a little bit too big, but Mikael Brown is back on the court, so that changes things in my eyes for the Cardinals. To say that they're going to win by margin at this number, might be pushing it, but. I gotta respect the odds makers, and this line has increased, throughout the morning. So I'm gonna respect it. I'm gonna lay the points. Just looking at the the number, the way it was and where it is now. Maybe it's one of those get right blowout spots for Louisville.
All right, Louisville blowout for Jovan. Let's end the card here. We've got some good evening games as well. So anything from 5:30 Eastern to the end of the night. Some spotlight games. Utah and BYU, big rivalry game in that one, but BYU pretty hefty favorite. TCU and Baylor is usually a good game. This year, both teams struggling in the Big 12. Northwestern and UCLA, Boston College and Notre Dame in the ACC. We've got one of my favorites, Canisius and Fairfield. Everybody loves some Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference basketball. We got Grand Canyon, Fresno State. San Francisco, Gonzaga is usually a pretty fun one, competitive game. K-State and Kansas, big rivalry matchup again in the Big 12. Nevada, New Mexico, one of the best home court advantages in all of college hoops in the pit in New Mexico. We got Cal and Stanford, another rivalry game in the ACC. Utah Valley, Cal Baptist, an underrated matchup in the WAC. Tennessee, Alabama, that's another good one in the SEC. And we end, the final game is Cal State, Northridge, Hawaii. right around midnight. So I'm up first. For me, San Francisco may not be my favorite team this season, but they do a pretty good job of keeping things competitive against Gonzaga. That's a lot of points, and I've not been in love with this Gonzaga team either, especially when it comes to laying these large numbers. We've seen some games that were too close for comfort, and I think San Francisco can do enough in this game to keep it within that 12 to 15 point range. I think 17 and a half, you're safe there getting those points with the Dons. Also, I would probably, let's see. I think Baylor figures it out. I mean, I think TCU has had some moments. They've had some nice wins, some upset wins, but Baylor, I still think, is too good of a team. I mean, we're getting such a good price with the Bears because of their struggles. They've lost 2 straight and 5 of their last 6, and they're playing with revenge in this matchup. They lost to TCU in the first meeting. From a shot quality standpoint, this is still one of the better teams in the conference. They've got a ton of talent. I think they can figure it out. They played, look at the losses they've had in 4 of their last 5. Iowa State, Houston, Kansas, Texas Tech. That's some of the best teams, not just in the Big 12, but in the country. And yeah, some of those games were ugly, final scores, but I still think Baylor's good enough in this one to win this game by a couple of buckets. We're getting a really good price because of those recent results. So Baylor for me in that one. But Rod, what do you like in this one?
Couple of me in the late night block here. First one I'm looking at, as you alluded to, Utah to take on BYU. That thing's up to 19.5. That's just too many points. I'll take Utah there. Utah, look at what they've done on the road. They haven't been winning games on the road, but they've been getting these big giant numbers and been covered in those big giant numbers. 4-1 ATS wise out on the road. BYU laying this big giant number. You look what they've been doing over the last month or so. They've been winning games, but not covering these big giant numbers. So I'll take Utah plus the points in that matchup. The Johnson Gonzaga, no defense play. Give me the over. I think 150 is a little bit light for those two squads. Track meet, give me the over 150.5 in that one. And then where's the later one I was looking at? Nevada. They're playing later in this block somewhere, aren't they? Yeah, they're taking on New Mexico here. And I'm going to take Nevada. Steve Alford and company at 7.5 here on the road. I'll take it. I think that's just too many. New Mexico and the Lobos. We've seen this team plenty of times not cover spreads. Playing pretty good right now, but I don't think this 7.5 too many. I'll take Steve Alford and company to keep this one close. I think it's a 3-4 point win at best for the Lobos in that one. Give me Nevada, Steve Alford and company plus the 7.5 in that one.
We know what Mitch's opinions are.
I know
Steve Alford.
Tread lightly, though. It's Steve Alford. We all know how he is, so it's like
yep.
Tread lightly. But I still think it's too many points with the Lobos.
Some of Mitch's favorites: Steve Alford, Mick Cronin. I got him on the Mike White train. Fading Mike White. So definitely some lousy college hoops coach out there. But Javon, what do you like in this time slot?
Yeah, we're gonna roll with UCLA. Facing a Northwestern team who got it done at USC. But, given the fact that UCLA took an L on the road in their last game, I expect for them to bounce back in this one. If Martinelli's not doing anything, then for me, Northwestern's kind of dead in the water, and I think that might be the case in this spot. So I will be on the Bruins in this one. I agree with San Francisco. Now, we already know Gonzaga, they blow teams out, most of the teams out in their conference. But, when they're facing a team like San Fran, who I think are a lesser San Fran team than in years past, they do battle against Gonzaga, at least in one of the 2 games they face each other, on a year-to-year basis. I think this is the spot where they do actually cover. We're getting a pretty big number given how these games have gone or how these games have been set at in years past between these two. It's usually in years past is like 10, 11, 12. Now we're getting 16.5 at this point. Yeah, I'll be on the dog in this one. Utah Valley. I'm also on Utah Valley. They're playing Cal Baptist. This is a Cal Baptist spot, to be quite frank, but you look at the track record between these two, and it's been all Wolverines. So it's a proven spot for me. Cal Baptist is gonna have to prove that they could get a win off of Utah Valley. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it in that spot. And UC Irvine, I'm on UC Irvine. You know, UC San Diego was the team that knocked them out of the conference tournament last year. So this is a revenge spot. Given that, in the point spread at plus 2.5, I think this is going to go down to the wire. So I want the points in my pocket.
All right, going with a little revenge play on a Saturday night. Brian, what do you like in this time slot?
Oh, it's a gigantic time slot. Lots of great stuff. I'd have Kansas State as a premium pick if I wouldn't have made a video out of it yesterday. I'd like Kansas has 3 huge wins in a row, knocking off Iowa State, Baylor, even Colorado at Colorado. But I'm not a believer in Kansas. I think it's a down year for them. Kansas State, I think they're a lot better than their close to 500 record. They've only covered 1 out of the last 7. This line's pretty light, 4.5, I believe it is. Take Kansas State. I like Tennessee plus the points against Alabama. I think it's a 1-possession game. Tennessee's played Alabama pretty tight over the last 3, 4, 5 games or so. I think Tennessee keeps us within a possession. And then what else is on my mind here? Is there one other? Those are the 2 I'll go with.
All right. And that's college hoops for today. So a lot of great games. Let me see if there's one that I missed that I'd like to talk about.
Yeah, let me look too.
Let's see. Oh, I think that Liberty game, it's like an ugly game, but I would lean towards Delaware plus the points. It's just it's like a situational spot where Liberty now is just too big of a favorite because of their 8-0 Conference USA record, Delaware 1-6, but Delaware is actually a really good 3-point shooting team. That's the one thing that they do well is they're pretty elite from the 3-point line, and Liberty's 3-point defense is shaky. So it could open the door for Delaware having a great start from the perimeter of this game, maybe go up, find a lead early. And if you're getting 15, 14.5 points, that may be all you need. So I would lean towards Delaware plus the points in that one. Rod, is there anything else that you saw on this card that you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, one more I missed. Stephen of Austin, pretty good squad, playing some pretty good basketball, but I think this is a spot that I'll grab Lamar here at home as the home dog here in this one. Lamar is one of those teams that get up when they play against teams with winning records. They love to get up for these games, kind of like their Super Bowl, I guess, against Stephen F. Austin. Stephen F. Austin, if they start chucking the threes and they start shooting bricks, it can give you a long day. So I like Lamar there plus the 3.5. They have a nice shot to win outright. The Costies. I'm going to nickname the Lamar. That's his team, so we'll call him the Costies. Give me Lamar plus the 3.5 there.
Javon, anything that you missed?
Early game, Elon against Charleston, formerly known as College of Charleston. Yeah, I'm on Elon in this one. Elon took an L earlier this week to Townsend at home. Now they got to go on the road. But this Charleston team, they're not the same team as years past where they basically ran the CAA. So opponents have a chance to, get their licks off of them. And I think this might be a spot where Elon can, keep in mind that Charleston has won the last 8 in the series. So there's that. But I think Elon at least covers this plus 3.5.
All right. Elon for Jovan. Brian, anything?
Yeah, I think I missed a couple. I'll take the UConn Huskies minus the 11 points, 4 or 5 straight non-covers for UConn. They're still laying double digits against a Villanova team that I don't know. I'm not a Wildcat believer. I like the Baylor Bears minus the points. They burned me a lot this season, but they're much better than how they've been playing, and laying 4.5 against TCU. I'll do that. And I like if I had to take a captain obvious play, I'll take the Florida Gators, lay the points. They've covered 5 in a row or so. This team is out on a mission. I don't think they're going to be stopped very easily. I see a 15-point win for the Gators, so I'll lay it with Florida.
I don't know. I'm a resident Gator believer, but I think Auburn's better than 11.5 points there. I think they keep it close. This kind of seems like a sleepy spot for Florida, where they get
if I had to
maybe
throw
a little
one
bit.
of those, if I had to throw one of the plays that I just gave off, it would be Florida. But maybe it's my heart. I want to see the Gators crush them today.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it helped my my futures play. But
yeah.
All right, that's college hoops. We've got 7 games in the NBA today. We're going to split this card right in half. So we've got, like I said, a couple of afternoon games. The first one is the Washington Wizards and the Charlotte Hornets. We've got the New York Knicks and the Sixers. It's going to be an ABC game, 3 p.m. Eastern. And then right after that on ABC is going to be the Warriors and the Timberwolves. And then the Cavaliers and the Orlando Magic. I believe Rod is up first. Anything in these first 4 games in the NBA, Rod?
Yeah, the first one, definitely not my favorite slot of the NBA. I like one here. Give me the Knicks. This thing flipped, right? I believe it's still plus 1.5 for the Knicks in that one. Just because of the Anthony Towns news that he has a decent chance to play with a back injury, but questionable here. I don't think he plays. That's why this line is so low the way it is. And you look at the way the Knicks have been playing on the road. But here in this spot, you only have to lay a point. I think this is the spot. I'll take the Knicks here in the spot on the road. I don't trust this 76ers squad. Embiid, probable to play. George, probable to play. But even if those two guys play, this is a Knicks spot. All I need to know is that Hart's in there, and he is. And when the Knicks have Hart in the lineup, they have Hart, and they actually play to get wins. We've seen that stretch when they were without Hart, and they look awful. Love the Knicks here. You're a point, money line, whatever you want to do here in this spot. New York comes into Philadelphia and outrights the 76ers there. Gets themselves a win, even if Karl Anthony Towns doesn't play here. Only one I like.
All righty. Jovan, anything in these first 4 games?
We're going to look at the early game. Washington, Charlotte. I'm on Charlotte. I don't want to lay the big number with them, but looking at a Washington team who, they've gotten a win here or there, as big dogs, over the last, 6 weeks. But in the last 8 games, they've lost all of them, and they're 2-6 against the spread in that situation, in these last 8 games. So, ever since they made that trade, they're not in the business of winning. They're in the business of tanking. So, with that said, no Trae Young to be found. You probably won't see him till next year. Yeah, I'm fading them. So I'll be laying a big number with the Hornets. And the Hornets have been playing representable defense. And they drilled Orlando in their last game by what was it, a 30 piece? So yeah, that's the one that I would key in on for this NBA on the early go.
Okay. Brian, anything early?
It's a tough early card, but if I had to pick one out, I'd take the New York Knicks on the money line here against the Sixers. I don't think Towns is going to play, but they're playing with double revenge off of 2 embarrassing losses at Madison Square Garden. Sixers, I'd like to get behind them. I like VJ Edgecombe. I like Maxey, but I think the Knicks take this one here.
All right, the Knicks for Brian. I'll talk about this Warriors game. Minnesota has just really done well in this series the last couple of years. They've won 5 straight games now. They've covered in 5 straight games. And a lot of these spreads have been similar to what we see today in that 4.5, 5-point range. Even the last game was a 5-point dog, Minnesota was, and they won that game outright by 7. I think they can win this game by 10 points or so. Both teams not in the best form against the spread-wise. They both failed to cover the last back-to-back games. But I think Minnesota, playing at home, we hear of the house of disappointment. Sometimes we see some lackluster showings at home, but still 15-7 straight up at home. Warriors have struggled on the road. I think Minnesota takes care of business in the TV game. So I'll lay the points with the T-Wolves. But we've got 3 more games for this Saturday NBA card. It's the Boston Celtics, Chicago Bulls, the Lakers, and the Mavericks, also on ABC, 8:30 Eastern. And then the final game on the card is the Miami Heat and the Utah Jazz. Jovan, anything in these 3?
Looking at the last game, the Heat versus the Utah Jazz, and look, it's a big total, but I expect this game to be one of those up and down, free flowing type of games where a lot of shots are made. If they're missing their shots, then there's nothing you can do about it. It's going to stay under. But I want the over in this one. I expect, some fireworks in this one, just with shot making and all that good stuff. So, you're looking at a Miami Heat team who lost by 17 their last game to Portland. Even in high altitude, I don't think they're going to get tired in this spot. So it'll be the over for me. Utah, same deal. They're going to give up a lot of shots, give up a lot of 3-point looks, easy 3-point looks. I expect the Heat to make a few of those. And, Utah, for their part, they'll put the ball in the bucket as well. So it'll be the over for me. If you don't want the over full game, just take it on first half. That should hit.
All right, over first half, over full game. Big total there, but too bad defense, especially Utah. I could see it. How about Brian? What do you like?
Damn it, you almost got me. This is a crappy NBA card, in my opinion, but I'll take the Dallas Mavericks plus the points so I don't pull a roof flow. Mavericks normally are a team like the Mavericks who covered 4 in a row and 5 of 6. Sometimes I'll stay away from that, but the Lakers are always over bet here. I think Dallas is playing good basketball, can keep it within a possession here, so I'll take the Dallas Mavs.
Yeah, I think I'll agree with that. Luka's return to Dallas. I like the way the Mavericks are playing. I know Jay was upset about the trade, but I do think that the franchise overall is headed in the right direction right now. I mean, it helps that you get the number 1 pick, but I still think that, the record's still not great on paper, but I like the way this team's playing. I mean, they've won 4 straight. They've covered in 4 straight. I think they at least can find the cover here, if not another outright win. So I would lean towards Dallas myself. Rod, what about you?
Saved $350 million too, plus on a super contract, or what were those super deals? So I don't know. I think that was why they shuffled them along. Going, think we can spend $350 million somewhere else. We're sorry, but you gotta go. But anyways, here in this spot, I agree. I like the over in that Heat game, but I like the Heat to get the job done. When they score 121 plus points, they just route teams. Do the Heat just roll right along? I believe it's this season 16-2 when they scored 121 or more points. So, and that's ATS wise. I think this thing gets into the 250s, but the Heat win by 10 plus. Another one I like in this time block of games is give me Boston here. It's a point, right? Everybody's like, hey, get a point with the Celtics second half of back-to-back. You know what the Celtics do on second half of back-to-backs this year, especially out on the road? Win those games. 3-0 straight up, 3-0 against the number as the Celtics squad against it in the second half of a back-to-back. Bulls are like, everybody's Giddy's back. He's coming back. All these guys are coming back. But Chicago doesn't play a lick of defense. They stink. Boston starts hitting their threes like they hit threes. They're in trouble because the Bulls, they don't play well against teams that can hit the 3. They're 3-5 ATS-wise. Celtics, this one, Ryan's all over the Bulls. You can see it with that.
No, but I don't have it as a premium pick, but doesn't it scare you that the Boston Celtics are getting points here? I know it's a back-to-back, but come on. I mean, it looks
doesn't scare me at all.
Looks like if Captain Obvious had an NBA pick, it might be that. I don't have the Chicago Bulls, but I don't know. It looks too good to be true to me. It's like one of those girls you pick up at 2:00 in the morning at the bar and you've been drinking, and then you wake up the next day and it's not what you expected. But anyway, we'll see.
We'll see. I like Boston.
All righty. Brian, that USF hat, is that a hat that you purchased or is that a trophy?
Oh, that was Mr. Brad Harris. Yeah, he's a very good guy. I got that, and I got my nice brand new Reading Phillies hat. Oh, so you're trying to see if me and Rod want to go a hat. But see, if he didn't live in Canada, it costs like $50 to ship a hat to Canada.
Yeah, right.
It's cheaper. Instead of doing a hat bet, it's cheaper just to bet a $50. I'm telling you, it's way cheaper to bet that. You want the?
I don't love it that much.
I don't love it that much. I just like the Celtics. I really do. I think it's a good spot for them.
All right. Well, we got over 150 total games for this Saturday card across the 4 sports. Oh, I took Giovanni. Still learning these graphics here and the editing, but I know these guys have some big best bets on the board as well. Rod, what do you got at PickDawgz Premium for this Saturday?
Yeah, and over at PickDawgz Premium, hey, I got a 5-pack of college basketball plays. The ones I absolutely love in that 5-pack is included my college basketball game of the week. Absolutely love that play. You can scoop that up singly. And then I also have one NBA play, my Gold Star NBA play of the day. We crossed it with an under yesterday. Cruise to an under there on that one. So I like it. And then I've got my NHL bottle rocket play of the day as well. I dropped it, so looking for a bounce back there. That was my lone loss, was on the ice in that one in the NHL. So that's available singly as well. So head on over, scoop it up. But as everybody says, usually we get that long-term pass is the way to go. Right now, I'm hot in multiple sports, so it's not just been one. So instead of having to buy all those plays individually, grab a long-term pass, 3-day, 7-day, 30-day, either way. Take advantage, 2-for-1 capper promotional as well. I'm not the only hot capper over at PickDawgz Premium, but head on over. Use Pick at checkout, 15% off. Big day loading. Excited for it.
All right, big day loading for Rod Zawacki. Check it out at PickDawgz Premium. Jovan, what do you got today for this Saturday card?
Well, it's Saturday, so you know what that means over on this side. A lot of action, high volume on a Saturday. Got over 150 plays. So, with me on Saturday, college basketball, you're dealing with over 20 plays on this Saturday. A 5-pack starting on the 12 o'clock time slot. Then a 1 o'clock time slot, got another 3-pack. Then a 2 o'clock time slot, got a 3-pack. Then throughout the rest of the day, we got some more packs that are going up on the board after this show is over. Might put in a couple NBA plays. Just want to check out a couple things, with the NBA and the injuries and all that stuff. You got to tread lightly. So 1-2 NBA plays to boot. So it's going to be a big Saturday. I like this card, just like Ron said. One of my favorites for this season.
Yeah, definitely a lot of meat on the bone for this Saturday card. Jovan's got you taken care of. Check it out at PickDawgz Premium. Brian Bittler had you taken care of in 2025. He was the #1 handicapper on the site, but he's coming off a clunker. Is he ever going to win a pick again? Let's see. What do you got to pick, Brian?
That's one of the reasons I didn't go with Minnesota at 12, because I'm superstitious and I don't want to get off to the wrong start here on Saturday. But my best bet is in the NBA today. My titanium plays 84 and 44, 66%, last 128, ranked #1 in the NBA. Pick that up at PickDawgz.com, just $30. Or you can get all 5 of my Ultimate Revenge 5-pack. It's my 4 best college basketball and 1 NBA for $75 at PickDawgz.com. And I already have my NFL loaded for tomorrow. I think the 2 NFL games are easy layup winners here as far as the spread goes. So check that out, PickDawgz.com.
All right, check it out. PickDawgz Premium, Brian Bittler. I also love those NFL games myself. I've got my NFL AFC game of the year, and I'll have a play on the side in the NFC game as well. But for me today, I've got my college basketball bank shot best bet. I believe I have 8 plays total right now, but there's a few plays pending, so keep checking. I think 35 and 14 run now for our bank shot best bet. We did lose yesterday, but over 70%, right around 50, last 50 plays. So we've just been crushing the books in college hoops this season, especially with that top play. So you can check that out. Also have my NBA top of the ticket. Cashed our NBA best bet yesterday with the Pacers. So looking for another win there. Long-term plan, always your best bet, especially with this weekend card. All the plays today, my game of the year tomorrow in the NFL is just the best way to go. Multi-capper special. Check it out at PickDawgz Premium. But now we know what time it is. We don't have Jay to sing the parlay song, so I'll do my best rendition. Parlay, parlay, parlay. A little bit more sensual for the folks this Saturday.
It's like you're talking to your girlfriend or something.
What do you got for a parlay? Birdcage, Mr. Zawacki.
Birdcage. We're going to go with the Knicks. We're going to go with the Sabres to beat the Islanders there in that one. And then we got to throw in Texas and the Longhorns. Hook them up, baby. They're going to get the win there in that one. 3-teamer for you, mixed sport. Love it. Last time we were here, we hit it. Let's get another one back-to-back. 3-teamers for you guys here.
There you go. Mixed sport, Birdcage. Javon, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm staying on the train tracks in this one. Minnesota Gophers. Match it up with the Missouri Tigers. Then for the second one, it'll be Elon. Match it up with UC Irvine.
All right. Brian?
I'm going to go with the college basketball 3-game parlay. Minnesota Golden Gophers plus the points, Iowa State Cyclones laying the lumber, and Kansas State Wildcats plus the points.
I'll stick with college hoops as well. I'm going to go with UConn laying the lumber, Texas on the money line. Let's add 2 more. I'm going to go with Samford laying the points. And a late game. Let's do San Francisco plus the points against Gonzaga. And it looks like we have a visitor here, I think. He keeps going in and out, so maybe not. But that's today. So we'll try to act more professional tomorrow. Not sure who's going to be the host for the Sunday show, but like I said at the beginning of the show, please stay safe this weekend with this storm. Just be careful. Don't do anything crazy. Try to stay home if you can and enjoy these games. Got some great football games. Luckily, those two locations are not going to be affected too much. They are already used to the cold weather, so nothing out of the ordinary. So should be a good one. But thank you everybody for joining. Good luck, and we'll see you around. As always, this is Ron Romanelli. Good luck.